So, today we're going to focus on the trap and roll escape from the mount. Now, a lot of people lead with the trap and roll when they explain mount escapes. I'm going to go into kind of why I don't in a little bit, basically with our second technique in more depth. But I want to focus more right now on some of the mechanics. Like, the trap and roll is a pretty straightforward escape. We've probably all learned this in the sense of I'm in the mount, make them post their hands, I block the foot, I block the hand, and I roll them over. But there are some key mechanical aspects to this that I think make a huge difference in actually how effective this is going to be, especially against seasoned opponents. It's one thing if the guy sucks and he just gets to the mount and you're like you just push him off a lot of times. Like, people's mounts suck a lot, especially early on. But as you get further along in your jiu-jitsu and you start getting people that really know how to maintain control of the position, uh, there's a lot of vulnerabilities to the sort of classic, just bridge them up and turn and roll them over kind of trap and roll that I want to address. So let's get to it. You can see me here in the mount. So everything starts again with weight distribution, right? I try to bridge and turn him over from here. This is basically how you end up giving your back to somebody. This is a very common beginner move, right? Like you get the guy who's never done jiu-jitsu before, and you get them in the mount and they panic. And if Jimmy just floats and allows me to turn underneath of him while I bridge, I'm going to give him my back. And it's going to be bad. It's going to be real bad. So don't do that. Okay. I need to distribute his weight first, right? So classic, big bridge, big knee in the tailbone, his hands post. Okay. Now, without really much regard for like setups, because I'm going to show my philosophy of when to go for this versus when not to go for this a little bit more in the second technique, but just kind of getting over the mechanics. The first thing that you see a lot is a lot of people will show and try this thing where they kind of like punch up and then loop around. Okay, this sucks. I'm not gonna lie to you, this sucks. This is a bad idea. I mean, I guess it could work. But like I'm here, I'm gonna reach my arm exactly in the range you would need to like Americana me right away. So I mean, if that's your objective is to get Americana right away, this is probably the best way to do it. I would say. It's also like really weak. I mean, here's the thing: is like it can kind of work if I make sure that I just spike it down, right? But if I'm trying to like loop around this arm, I'm just like pull that free. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Right. That's not going to work. Okay. What I need to do is I need to collapse this elbow. So what I'm going to do for my catch, let's actually turn to. So I make him post. The opposite arm is going to come inside, and I'm going to karate chop him at the elbow. Hiya. All right. That's right. You see, it broke his arm right there. Jimmy can no longer train. The outside hand is going to come over, and we're going to catch a gable grip. All right. From here, I'm going to take that inside. Now, here's an interesting thing. Jimmy, pull that arm through, please. Damn it! Okay, hold on a second. One more time, please. Son of a bitch. Okay. I can trap the arm all day, and I'm sure you guys have experienced this. You know, you grab the arm, whatever it is, you cut the elbow, and he just pulls his arm through, right? And now you're back to square one. When I grab this arm, what I want is I want to not only pull it in, but I want to take it across the center line, right? So we're here. Let's say your posture back up. I bridge, I catch, boom, and I pull it across. So if he goes to pull it arm free, that thing's pretty stuck in there. Now again, if I just lay here and do nothing, go ahead and pull your elbow free. Go ahead. He might eventually get that free, right? But like, we're not going to lay here and do nothing forever.
Right.
But for the sake of purpose, I get this arm across my center line. The farther across your center line you get it, and the tighter you hold it to your chest, the harder it's going to be for him to get it free. Okay? Now, a lot of people focus on trapping this ankle at this point, which, I mean, yeah, you know, trap this ankle if it's here. This is going to prove to be, as we go further down the chain, not that critical of a detail. Like, I'll show you guys in a second. When we turn the volume up on this escape, as far as, like, the mechanics, it's not going to matter what he does with that leg. So, I have this arm here. Now, here's an interesting thing. Very often, this is the moment where people trap him, right? Like, we get here, so I'm going to do my big bridge onto my left shoulder, and I'm going to take him over, okay? Interesting thing about that. Jim, I'm going to go to trap and roll you, and I want you to take your left arm, and I want you to bring it across to your right side and post it on the floor. Son of a bitch. Okay. The reason why that can happen is because he can reach over there. Thank you guys. I hope that insight was very beneficial and useful. What's mechanically happening is when if you look at my body, right? If just be super loose for a second. When I bridge onto my shoulder and my head, I'm bridging him that way, right? Like that's the 45-degree angle. Now, of course, I'm not going to try to roll him over because that will not work. Like, everyone knows that. That's pretty rudimentary. If you don't know that, don't try to roll him over. That's not going to work. There we go. But if I bridge him at this 45, the problem is I'm taking him in the direction where his opposite hand can post quite easily. He's in no danger right now of anything consequential happening. He just has to post. So I need to make this consequential for him. I need to make it so that if he tries to lock out and post, it's going to be a bad day for him. So what I'm going to do, are we still in frame okay, Mike?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to take my head and I'm going to put it, you guys look right now, there's a little triangle right here.
In the pocket.
Right, I'm going to put my head right in this pocket. You guys recall we did this with our cross collar choke escape on Wednesday. So from here, my head goes under this tunnel. So now guys, here's what's interesting. I've kind of changed the angle where I'm not quite perpendicular, but we're sort of making an X. You guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
I guess an X is kind of perpendicular, when I think about it. So we're perpendicular, guys. From here, when I bridge, and I'm going to go really slow, if you notice, my 45-degree angle has changed relative to his 45-degree angle. His 45-degree angle is still that way. Mine is that way, which is the angle of his face. So he's either going to post on his face, which he won't, or he's going to concede the roll. You notice how you almost instinctively tried to reach out with that free hand to post? Yeah, that's what everybody does. Because that's smart. You don't want to land on your face. Landing on your face is bad.
Okay.
So again, I get this arm, I bring it across the center line. So, and I mean, if it's low like here, that's cool. But even if it's like up high but across the center line, that's all that matters. But the key here is, and the thing that really supercharges this escape is that my head is going through this hole. Once I'm here, and really the matter being not so much that my head's through the hole, but more so that I change my relative angle to my opponent. Once I get here, like, it's kind of interesting. If I fixate on trying to turn him over, it like doesn't work. But if I just say, I'm gonna make his face hit the floor, then I'm gonna follow up easy, right? Let me chop me for a second. So just to kind of elaborate on that last turnover, here, right, get the arm across, pivot to this angle, and then once I reach the peak of my bridge, which will basically be his face planting, I'm just stepping over and getting my top position. This thing is super powerful, guys. Like, this will even be like, get you on top. I'm here, I get the arm across, I start going, and like, even if he like steps his right foot up, it's like, we'll still overload him. Sometimes it won't work, but man, I gotta say the percentages on that one. If he lets all of those different things happen,
Right through the bag.
then at that point it's pretty high percentage. And so that's kind of illustrating the point. I don't really care so much if I trap the ankle, because again, I'm not taking him in that way. I'm taking him towards that, right, basically towards his face. So let me get you, Tony, so that way Jimmy can do that. So we're in the mount. Again, if I'm just going straight for this, same conditions. I gotta redistribute his weight. So, boom. From here, I'm not trying to like loop around this arm. I will get attacked doing this. And I'm not gonna, no, Tony, you're defending wrong. You're defending wrong, Tony. Right? What I want is, cross arm is gonna cup, like karate chop at the elbow. Outside arm is gonna form this gable grip, right? Obviously, I'm not like sitting here, right? It's a snatch. And I pull that across my center line as much as possible. I'm kind of reinforcing that pin with my elbow. So it's like pull your elbow free, please. It's like, you see what I'm saying? It's like he's got to kind of like finagle that thing out of there. It's not like he's just pulling it, like if I'm loose, go ahead and pull it straight out. That's what we don't want, is him just to get that thing right out. From here, I can trap and roll if I want, but again, I'm not really that fixated on it. From here, my head goes under the tunnel, and then I'll go really slow. I'm going to bridge straight up onto my shoulder, which will take him right onto his face. He will naturally roll, like, sort of imagine what would happen if you hadn't turned your shoulder, right? Ow, yeah. Does that make sense, guys? Excellent. Let's partner up, work out. 1, 2, 3.